Okay, it's a snowy morning here in Lafayette on Monday. I don't work till this afternoon, so I thought I'd share one of the things I do in my personal life that helps me recover, relax, and it just feels good. I decided my house is gonna have almost every recovery thing I need, including a sauna. I built this cedar sauna in my backyard. It's in my shed. A lot of people talk about infrared saunas in their basement. I want it outside. I want it traditional. I have friends from Minnesota. I've been to Europe. Just that culture of recovery. I'm not one to just jump in the snow, but today we have snow. So it's really early, but I'm gonna show you what I got. So there's a lot of controversy on whether, a lot of these therapies that people do for recovery have any scientific backing. So the one you hear is that Epsom salt bath. There's no research that you recover better. I know that I love being in water. We go to the hot springs a lot. Last year, we put a new tub in because we really wanted to be able to just chill in our bathroom and relax. And behind me is the sauna, another heat therapy that I like the moist heat. I can apply, it's essentially a big fancy toaster oven in there that's safe to put water on. It has rocks on top. I often flood it too much and it kind of leaks, but it's safe. I thought I could get a used one, but once you look at used ones, they're pretty grimy, they're pretty scary. So I got a new one and it wasn't cheap, but it was worth it because I feel it's really safe. Some people had asked me, why don't you put a wood oven in there? And no, I don't want to have an active fire in my shed. I turn it on, come back. There's a timer on it. It can be turned on in a few hours. The infrared sauna doesn't have the moist component that I love. And this thing can crank. It feels so good. Last night it was up over 60% humidity when we went in, and it felt so good. So the reason I want to show you this is because there's a few things I have at my house that people often are curious about. Your home should be a recovery place, I feel. I don't bring work home really. I do make videos at home. I do think about work, but literally don't bring work home. Some people still haven't taken their TVs out of their bedrooms. That's a first step. In our house, we have a recovery room. You can use this as a sports recovery where you can have a massage table, lay down, put heat pads, stimulation, cup yourself, do some scraping, whatever. We call it a healing room because my partner, Shannon, she does intuitive healing. So it's really her room. But it's a great place like last night just to kind of rest, meditate, chill out before I go to bed. The other thing I have is a garage. I joke and call it my healing garage. It's my workshop. It's my place to chill, man cave, whatever you want. I do a lot of woodworking. So I have my hobbies. That's really healthy for men to find something other than work to do. It's great for anyone. And beyond that, our kitchen. And we both like to cook, enjoy doing that together. That's one of the things we share a lot of time with. The sauna though, stands out. It took a while. It's not that cheap to build. It's a heck of a lot cheaper if you build it yourself, but it's pointless if you don't use it. So I use it in the winter probably once a week. In the past, I've used it up to 3 or 4 times a week. That's when I was meditating, relaxing, the most chill I've ever been. So my goal this year is to do the same. Okay, so it's going to take about 40 minutes for this to get warm. I think it's 7 feet tall, just under 4 feet wide, and about 6.5 feet long, 7 feet long. So it's long enough for me to lay. It's long enough for another person to sit. They can't even lay down with their legs up the wall. I find it best to come turn it on, go back into the house, and I take a shower before I come out. With it being so cold, I think it's under 20 degrees. It's going to take a little while to warm up, but most people like it around 180 degrees. I like it around 200 plus. Okay, so that's the first, I just did 15 minutes. It's getting pretty hot in there. It's about 200 degrees. Kind of messed up with some of the ventilation, so I had to kind of fudge it as we went along. The cost was about $2,600 for this whole building. It's a lot cheaper if you put it in your basement, but we don't go to a gym. We're not a member, so we're free of a monthly cost. I have everything here. I like walking outside. I think it's special to have snow falling, and the cold and the contrasting heat and cold is just amazing for me. Now what I'll do is I'll probably go in 2 more times, come out. Again, I don't pour cold water or lie in the snow. There's been a few times and it's so hot. It feels great. Again, you don't drink caffeine or alcohol before you go in. You want to get your heart rate and your heat to come up slowly. Okay, second time. I'm actually gonna sit on the front porch. I feel really hot right now. It's about 205 in there. One thing I forgot is you'll see this elegant electrical panel on the side of the shed, the sauna. I forgot about that cost. I think that itself costs about $500 or $700. So the price now has gone up from $2,500 to about $3,250. You can't really cut corners. Inside is all cedar. Cedar has low water density. It's very light for that reason. It happens to be fairly strong from what I understand, but it's not a hardwood, so it's not that strong. But it doesn't hold water, so when you're creating a humid environment, you're not steaming the wood that might already exist, the water that already exists in the sauna, and which could be noxious, sickening. So cedar is one of those woods that you can use. It smells so good. There's times of when we're out in public and people just can smell it on me. Cedar is a very healing plant in Native American practices. Other things we use is we bring herbs in. I bought something from Rebecca's Apothecary in Boulder. It's a spritzer for clarity. You don't want to put any water on the machine, on the heater, on the sauna heater that has any, minerals in it, let alone just physical like stuff in the water. We use a lot of filtered water. Even our tap water can leave a grime over years and years of use. It's starting to get cold. It's been about 2.5 minutes here outside. I just imagine being in, I've been to Austria and, or the Nordic countries, how they always use saunas. It's how they bathe. I haven't been eating well. We've had some alcohol. I've loved burgers. I've been eating sugar. We've been eating out. We eat, purely organic diet, nightshade free, let alone dairy and gluten free. But burger kind of breaks all those rules. I feel like I'm detoxing. I'm clean, but it's not that I smell. It's just, you can tell like the nasty stuff is coming out of you. Okay, one last time. Okay, my neighbor happened to be right over the fence, and I'm just wearing a towel, so I moved over to our garden. One of the things that everyone, the misconceptions is that saunas only associate with like Nordic cultures. You think of the classic Scandinavian type saunas, they pronounce it. Minnesota even pronounces it that way. You hear of sweat lodges in Native American. I know the Greek Roman baths would have steam rooms. Every culture, China, South America. Heat is important to metabolism, to wellness. There wasn't that long ago that people used to, if you were sick, like a cold or a flu, the flu was the deadliest disease around. They'd wrap you in a blanket, throw you out in the sun, or make you warm as heck, because a bug can only live in a temperature that is so warm. It can't survive a well-hydrated system. Getting your metabolic rate or immune system stimulated is really important to fight disease. So that's why we'll do ginger or mint type stimulant teas. Most cold and flu medications have caffeine or a stimulant in them. That's why they work, but it could burn your immune system out. Yes, I'm warm right now. If you have any questions, contact me. I'm happy to share any other information I have about how you could potentially build your own. Elite athletes always have sports psychologists, meditation, yoga, acupuncture, other therapies to help settle their brain. Okay, it's the next day. It's Tuesday. I'm going back in again. There's a lot more snow. Can't believe it's October. But the main reason why I got a sauna, I forgot to mention this yesterday, is that it allows me to sleep so much better. Oh my God. Can't see.